Saturday. Decided got to start getting out, actually getting some mountain walking in. It's a little bit of a hill in my town. Figure should take about an hour to get to the top, hour to get back. Figure out the mileage later. See how many times I can go today. But here's the start. I'll be popping back in and out, get some footage. So where I parked my truck to the start, just 8 minutes. Nice little incline, get warmed up. But I'm not even at the start to the actual hill yet. So my last race, when was it? Last September, the 21K. I did wear my kit, and I've been over that a little bit in much older videos, but I'll try to go over it a little again today. I think it worked out good, especially, you know, being in the military for so long. I'm just used to actually wearing it all the time. This is why I like to get out here. The scenery, the views of it all. Notice, even though it's a nice sunny day out, most people are just inside their houses, taking the weekend off. I get it, whatever. Everybody does what they want. Bugs. That's the other reason why. Bugs. People don't like to get outside and play with the bugs. But you don't get outside, you don't get to see all this stuff. Like this stream. Even if you just drive by it, you're not going to notice it and appreciate it. You might be wondering why I'm not running up this, because I know this hill, it's a doozy. If I would have started running, jogging at the beginning, I would have never made it up to the top. But here we go. And that's the view looking backwards as I'm going up the hill. You know, there's only one spot in the entire world where you're gonna get that view like that right here, right now. My older life, that's what I started appreciating more. It's like you will never get that experience again. You can try to replicate it as much as you want. It's just not going to happen the same exact way every time. Anyway. Numerous corners. Don't get many straightaway views. This is still not the top. Once we get to that corner up there, past on that top, it still keeps going up. That's why I like this hill. You think you're at the top, and you keep going. I don't really have to think much about it. Just put one foot in front of the other. You kind of see the incline of the hill right there. It's still not as steep as Killington, but it's consistently uphill, and it's still not at the top. Went around that corner. See, I was way down there earlier. I said, hey, look at that corner. Still not the top. Get to the top of that one, and we're still going up. "28 minutes so far. Here we go. Almost to the top. There's where I came. Way down there. Last checkpoint in the corner. The top tree by the yellow house. Now, I do know I did this last year once. I regretted that I didn't do this more in preparation for the race, because it absolutely is a doozy of a hike. So that's my plan. I'll pause for a second. This bike goes by again. My plan, because Killington is basically one giant mountain, up and down. The plan is to do this as many times as I can. I would really have time to do it on the weekends, so that's what I'm going to do. Oh, look, there's Sasquatch. Watching me, watching you, watching him. Almost to the top. Check back in when we get there. We're nearly to the top. Now this road from one end to the other, well, actually, let me correct that. Last year I measured out using MapQuest. It was from one end to the other and back approximately 7 miles. So go down there, turn around, and go back to where I started. 7 miles total. I'm not doing that today because the rest of the way it's somewhat flat, and that's not what I'm looking to do. I'm looking for hill climbing mileage. And you know what? I think this would be approximately a good place to stop and turn around. So we are looking at 38 minutes. It's not horrible. Okay, here we go. Back down. So 40. I'll measure it once I get back home, the actual distance and everything, but it's got to be maybe 2 miles up, 2 miles back, I'm guessing. My super smart watch doesn't actually tell me. It's an okay watch, but it's not accurate. It's just something off of Amazon just to keep track of stuff. Mostly I use it just for keeping track of time. And it's handy because it records everything on an app that comes with it. So, okay, look at that view. Probably can't see it on the camera that well. Maybe I'll try to fix it when I go into the software. But those large white specks sticking off the mountains are the windmills. And over there, that large white area in the mountains, that's the granite quarries. I believe that's over in Calais, I think. And if I'm correct, just to the left of that, looks like one of the ski mountains, ski resorts, way over there. But I can sit here and watch this view all day long. This is why I like doing this. This is what excites me. Because no matter where you go in the world, you're not going to really see this view. Actually, you're not going to see this exact same view. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that's Camel's Hump, way over there. Anywho, back to my walk. There's the wind turbines. I know I said windmills earlier, and I knew that wasn't correct, but way off in the distance. I'll have to look it up to see where the nearest wind turbines are close to me, but that's got to be, I'm guessing, anywhere between 80 and 100 miles away. Maybe. That seems a bit far for my logic, but that's probably about 80 to 100 miles. Somewhere between 50 and 100 miles. I'll look it up when I get home. But look at that view. That's a gorgeous view. You get the green meadows starting to come in finally. I mean, summer's coming. Get all the dandelions popping up. You know, just going out, just going for a walk, simple walk. Well, this hill is not anything simple. This is the other reason. Well, the other reason I go up the hill is to go back down it. Doing my self-assessment after the 21K last year. The downhill portion is what really blew my legs out. Not so much my calves, but my quads. So I figure, well, get as much uphill and downhill walking as I can to strengthen those parts of my legs. Look. That farm right there is one of the oldest farms in this town. Still going, like 100 plus years. So I also wanted to touch base about the water sources and whatnot. I'll wait for these couple of fucking cars to come by. Little stream, pretty stream. So, water sources. Wanted to touch base a little bit about that. I kind of think that I've been worried about being dehydrated. So I've been constantly drinking water all the time. When I urinate, it's almost clear. And I kind of reeled myself back on that a little bit. Did the pee test again. And try to, make my urine slightly yellow. And I think what's been happening is I'm overhydrating, and it's just urinating out all the nutrients and vitamins and everything, and it's not really allowing my body to break stuff down. I'm probably overthinking it, but overhydration is absolutely a thing. Same thing with sodium, using the salt and whatnot. Too much, I can feel myself hypertensioning, and too little, I don't get that proper electrolytes from the sodium. Also, I know I got it in sodium, magnesium, potassium. That's what makes up electrolytes, and I absolutely hate Gatorade. Hate it. I used to like it when I was younger, tolerated it, never liked the taste, never was a fan of it, but finding that right balance of everything. But anyway, back to my hydration after this car goes by again. Hydration. My kit when I'm training, I have 2 canteens. I also have Camelback holster. I don't know if you can see it. I can't actually see. Really, I fill them up just for the extra weight, kind of acting like a weighted vest. Today, I only got 1 canteen filled up in case I need the water, but I'm not going out for that long. I'm trying to get my body back used to working on low amounts of hydration. I'm not saying I'm purposely trying to hydrate myself, because that's not good for your body. I'm saying I'm trying to get my body used to not being able to hydrate all the time. If I go into the race and my body is used to getting that water at every second and my hydration is really good during my training, then once I actually get into the race and I'm sucking down what water I'm carrying with me, my body is not going to be used of being dehydrated, and it's going to start breaking down. I ran into that last year in that race, and as much water as I tried to suck down in my Camelback, that's another thing. Actually, during the race, I don't have the front canteens on. There's a lot of low crawling and whatnot, and I take those off so I can get through the obstacles, because they kind of stick out quite a ways. It's really only for my running and hiking training that I carry these on. Anyway, point is, I got one canteen full of water for today, because I know it's not going to be a long time out here. Maybe 2 hours max if I'm going up and down twice, but anyway, I lost my train of thought. I don't know what the hell I was saying. I'll get back to you later. And I'm coming back to my start point. We are at 1 hour and 3 minutes. Still not done yet until we get to the start point. I can definitely feel it in my legs coming down the hill. When I start feeling it in my hands, the hypertension, muscles starting to cramp up. Feel it in my legs cramping. I can feel it in my hands. It's probably the dehydration part. See, normally I try to calculate my sweat amount, but I'm not sweating because it's really windy out right now. Well, it's a nice cool breeze. I'm gonna get down to the bottom of the hill here, assess the situation. I know that mentally I can do this. Physically, I can probably do another round. I'm contemplating whether I should or not. Last week was my heavy week. In the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be recovering. So I know I'm going to have time to recover after this. I don't want to, but I'm probably going to. Because to be honest, I'm just going to go home. I'm going to edit my videos for the rest of the day. And pretty much do nothing else. I have nothing else scheduled. It would be nice if I actually cleaned out my kit, then have sand everywhere inside of it from last year's race. That's kind of annoying to me. I know better. I should have taken care of it, but it is what it is for now. Okay. Probably 100 meters from where my start point was, more or less. Time check. It's 1 o'clock. It took me an hour and 10 minutes to do this one. So let's say an hour and 20 minutes if I go again. Hey, my truck is safe and secure. Well, I guess that's a good enough reason for me to go again. Yeah, I need reason to do it because I'm fucking beat already. This next go around is going to hurt. I guess that first loop was the warm up, and now we're going to go into the actual breakdown phase. I'll get back to you at the top. Yeah, I decided to make another loop. It's too early in the day to stop and turn around and just not do anything else when I can be out training. I can definitely feel it in my body right now. Things are starting to cramp up. We'll see how this goes. I could have made a stupid choice, but I'm not going to stop. The last two Spartan races, the last 2 years, I've only done one a year. I've done the 21Ks, which I'm not going to say they're easy. They are fucking hard. What I'm going to say is I was able to finish them. So I'm doing a 50K this year, and I got to start treating myself like I'm actually doing that. That's 50 kilometers. It's actually going to be more because Spartan races are notoriously longer than what they actually say. I'll say they rounded down. It's more like 51, 52K, something like that. It's going to take me approximately 12 hours of going all day long. 12 hours up and down a mountain and through obstacles. I'm not so much worried about completing the obstacles. It's actually completing the race and not getting a DNF. Did not finish. That was my choice as to why I turned around and I'm going back up the mountain instead of walking the 80 meters to my truck and going home and do nothing for the rest of the day. If I did that, I don't deserve to be in a 50K. This is going to hurt, but I gotta keep going. There it is, folks. I got the top in view. Second loop. First time was definitely much easier going up. I don't know if going downhill that first time really took it out of me. Seemed like it was easy, but holy crap. I think around the 1 hour mark, my body finally caught up with itself and said, yep, we're starting to feel it now. Let's see what time. 1 hour, 42 minutes. I don't know if you actually see that. I have to still make it to the top. About 150 meters out. Get there, take a sip of water, turn around and head back. So if I'm correct, I was at the 1 hour and 10 mark when I got to the bottom of the hill to turn around. So I'm at, what did I say? I'm at 143 right now. So approximately 30 minutes. I tried to focus solely on my walking and not so much filming everything. Focus on my walk and really step it out and pick up the pace. My body can definitely feel it now. Anyway, I'll touch back in with you a little bit. Turn off? No, you did not turn off. You went in my pocket. There it is again, the view. Regardless of how many times this sucks doing it, the view is still breathtaking. It's definitely worth the while for me and the hardship. So way off in the distance, I'd like to actually figure out which mountains they are, but you can see the cutaways, the 3 cutaways on the side of the mountain. That's pretty sure that's one of the ski resorts. It's either Sugarbush or Stowe. I'll get my GPS out on my phone when I get home, and I'll actually try to figure some of this stuff out. It's be interesting to see, because that's a ski resort there, one of them, and then you probably can't see it, but I noticed earlier, my first loop down, there's, pretty sure that's Camel's Hump right there. But somewhere in that general vicinity is another ski resort. I'm just making an educated guess because there's, looks like trails leading up and down the mountain for the actual ski area. Oh, there it is. Just on the top of that house on that mountain way out there, that looks like another ski resort. Like I said, I'll get my GPS out and actually figure out what's what there, because that's quite a ways away. So time wise, 1 hour and 50 minutes. So I'm on my descent again. I figure 2 hours and 20 minutes. That's my guess. 30 minutes to get down. That'd be a total of 2 hours and 30 minutes for this jaunt. Legs are definitely starting to feel it, but that's the entire point of practice. ran into the people that owned the house on the top of the hill. I didn't get it recorded, but said it lows. Said it's beautiful. He said it was a beautiful day for a walk. And if you do this hill, you can pretty much walk anywhere. That's a well-known fact. If we do it twice, I figure maybe I stand double the chance. You're completing the 50K in September. It's May 16th today, I think. Let's call it about 4 months out, almost 4 months even away from that. So figure 4 weekends in each month. Got, and I'm sure my math needs to be corrected. 4 times 4 is 16. 16 more weekends to train for the race. Now I am, doing what I can during the weekday, but it's gonna have to be Saturdays where I'm doing the majority focus of my training. I'm gonna be gonna try to do this hill as often as I can, but luckily where I live in Vermont, the Green Mountain State, hence my name, Green Mountain Spartan, there's a lot of Vermont rail trails where I live. The only downside to them is that they are pretty much flat. Yeah, the rail trails pretty much flat, so I'm not going to get any elevation out of them, but I can get distance. I did that a couple of times last year, the rail trail. I can't remember. I want to say it was 26 kilometers I got out of it. I honestly can't remember. I'd have to go look it back up. I want to say out and back with my kit, approximately 26 kilometers. The other thing I want to touch on is I'm going to start experimenting with gel packs and on-the-go little protein bar bite things, but I'm going to try to do homemade stuff, mostly because making them at home and using them, getting the reusable packets for the gels and making them myself, it's just going to be more cost efficient. I'm already doing this at a high loss because this is the truth that a lot of people are, oh wait, let's look at that because that's a good view. That's one of the ski resorts right there. I think that's Sugarbush, because Sugarbush has 2 different ski locations, and then I can't see the other one from down this level. Oh, you can. There's the granite quarry, and then just to the left of that must be Stowe Mountain Resort ski area there, and then off that way that's got to be Sugarbush, because I'm pretty sure Sugarbush, and I don't ski at all, I just for work purposes been to both of those locations. I'm pretty sure Sugarbush has 2 different ski locations areas there, and then I'm almost certain Stowe has 1, but again, I could be absolutely wrong. I don't know. What was I saying? Before I interrupt myself was the gel packs. I'm gonna start. Anyway, it's financial. And what I was gonna say was what a lot of people don't touch base on is the cost factor of all this. Holy crap, does this exercising and doing this, it costs a lot of money. Not only does it cost a lot of money, But if you're a person that just to make ends meet has to work all the time, 60, 70 hours a week, and I'm not kidding. I used to be an over-the-road truck driver, and I'd be working 70 hours a week, non-stop, on the go. That leaves extremely a little bit of room for actually exercise, eating healthy, and doing what you should do to take care of yourself. There was a point in my life where I was really big, weighed 240 pounds. For my height, I'm only 6'4", okay? I am short. For my height, 240 pounds is a lot, okay? Could not walk up and down stairs. Went up a flight of stairs, had to catch my breath. And there was a point where I needed to reevaluate my situation and understand that, yeah, I could work 60, 70 hours a week. And don't tell anybody, but there were some times where there was 80 hours a week. How can you do that? A lot of off-the-clock work. Paperwork, filing, especially when you own your own business. You don't get time off. Anyway, I had to reassess my situation. And it wasn't by chance. It wasn't like, oh, I'm not healthy. I'm just gonna, change my entire life and focus more on my health. Stuff happened. I lost my business. Started working for other people. And it's like, I really don't want to give my time that I can never get back and give it to somebody else. And they're just gonna throw it away. Because literally, working for companies, there is no end in sight in that. It's literally the same thing every single day, the same problems. You go and you fix something, and you're fixing the same exact thing the next day. What is the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing every time and expecting different outcomes. No. Anyway, there's a certain point in your life and that I chose to grasp and just run with it, that you have to make choices about your time, because you're never going to get them back. I'm 42 years old. The 42 years that I've had in my past, I will never get them back. But I can make a better future for myself. And sacrifices have to be made. And you have to be comfortable with those sacrifices. Pause for a second. The car goes by. That sacrifice that you have to make, you have to be comfortable with what choices you decide to do. If you're happy working your entire life and having material objects, houses, cars, the new cars, nice yard, tractors, making sure your kids have everything that they need and then want, and that they're happy with their material objects. And I'm saying that because I'm not too keen on that aspect of life. I'd rather enjoy experiences and have a healthy life. And that's what the choices that I made. I turned my life around. And now it doesn't, I'm not going out there and changing other people's lives. My family, I don't impose this on my family. If they don't, there was a time where I was trying to push them to go outside and exercise and get healthier and eat right and everything else, and like, you should be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that. And for a long time fighting that, I surrendered to it. I can affect my life, myself, and that's it. That's why I'm out here and I'm doing 2.5 hours up a hill, killing myself, and I know the consequences. I already feel it in my legs. The second I get back home, I'm going to cramp up and I'm going to curl up into a little ball and I'm going to cry in the shower, preferably a cold shower, to help with these muscle cramps, because wow, I'm going to be sore tonight. Anyway, I want to save the rest of the battery on my camera so when I get back to the truck I can break down my gear that I use when I'm out on the trails. And not every day is going to be as beautiful as this, but I'm hoping a lot of it is. Even on the Saturdays when it's going to be raining. I was almost going to say thunderstorms, but quite honestly, thunderstorms I don't really want to mess with. I want to die. But if it's bad weather, I'm still going to be out there. I'm going to be doing my exercises. Next weekend I'm going to try to hit the rail trail. I wanted to do it this weekend, but I wanted to start off with the hard part, and that's this hill. Next weekend I'm going to hit up the rail trails, different spots around my neck of the woods. Try a different area this time instead of going to the same ones I did last year, getting some footage for that. But that's exactly why I bought this camera, outdoor camera, so I can get out. I got to start using the head harness thing for the camera and chest harness and all that stuff. Just kind of, I need time. Again, time. Time is the one thing that's perishable that you can never get back. Anyway, I'll check back in later. Hi. No, cameras. Alright. Made it to my truck. Estimated time, I said earlier, was 2 hours and 20 minutes. 2 hours and 19 minutes total. Let's see, the watch says 17. I think that's wrong. How about we got the total? Oh, here we go. I had to actually read it correctly. So it says 14,929 steps and 10.05 kilometers. That's enough for today. We are going to stop it. There we go. It stopped. Okay. Kit. Same kit I wore in Afghanistan 16 years ago now. It's modified for a hiking / running carrier because I like it and it's easy and I don't have to buy another one. I got my dump pouch on the side. Usually it's rolled up, so I don't care for dump pouches, but if I need to put stuff in there real fast, I can pull it out. It also has a little bungee cord to secure it. Last year at the race, I carried an arm brace with me for my elbow, an elbow brace with me, in that I used it when my elbow got really sore, but you know, doing 21K, it got hot and sweaty, so take it off, put it in there. So I found this is good for my camera, especially when it's on the selfie stick tripod thing. I just slap it in there when I don't want to actually carry it in my hands. So I don't like carrying things in my hands. I don't even like having watches on. I don't like things on my hands or wrists. I purposely set it up high to keep it off my waist. Try to keep it on my upper torso so it's not on the pinch points of my waist. I got a dump pouch on the side. Not a dump pouch. This is a general purpose pouch on the side. When I'm out, it carries my keys, my phone, wallet, and any lickies, chewies that I want to bring with me. I do find that with this setup, it's a pain in the butt to open and close that hasp, that clamp, but it is what it is. The belt buckles don't actually get in the way, they're fine. On the back, I go for my longer runs and hikes. I got my Camelback, which I can loop the hose, it's my hose holder right there. I will say last year in the race, going through the water obstacles, the nozzle piece for the mouthpiece got really yucky. It did not taste very good, but it is what it is. I'm still alive 10 months after the fact, so. All in all, for what I need it to do, it works. I'm not gonna go out and spend hundreds of dollars on stuff that I don't need because I have stuff already to use it for. You know, I paid a lot of money for this 16 years ago, and it's still going. It works. It's fine. During the races, 2 canteens up in front to make sure you stay hydrated. 2 canteens up in front. During the races, I take those off. I think I said that earlier. Oh, I forgot I had another pouch right here too. My catch-all. Actually, this was supposed to be for my keys and my wallet. I forgot I actually had that one there until just now. That one's actually for my keys and my wallet. And the general purpose pouch on the side is for the lickies and chewies. But during the races, I take off the front canteens. That way I have more open space when I'm doing the low crawling through the obstacles and stuff like that, because canteens is going to get in the way. It's going to be awkward to do the obstacles, and they're just going to be ripped off. And it's more weight. With the amount of water stations there are and Spartan races, the Camelback is perfectly fine. I can blow through 2 or 3 water stations before having to really fill up my Camelback, and even then I really didn't need to. I miscalculated how much water I was actually using. I should have drank a lot more than what I actually was. When I actually went to go fill my Camelback, probably 3/4 of the way through the race, I was only halfway through the Camelback, and that's like a 2-liter bag. That should have been emptied halfway through the entire race, but it is what it is. Lessons learned, Charlie Mike.